One day, this kid, he's about 12 years old, is hanging out with his older cousin. His cousin looks at him and says, "Come here, let me tell you about my time in the war." The cousin had been in Vietnam, but these weren't stories about bravery. They were dark stories about people he unalived and horrible things he had done. Things so messed up I can't even describe them here without the video getting taken down. To prove he wasn't lying, he pulled out old Polaroid photos. Most of them were pictures of women, and they were absolutely disturbing. The strange part? The kid wasn't grossed out. He was fascinated. About a year later, the cousins are together again. The younger one, his name is Ricardo, is at his cousin Mike's house when Mike gets into a huge argument with his wife. It escalates fast. Mike pulls out a pew and unalive her right there in front of Ricardo. And once again, Ricardo isn't shocked. He's fascinated. Now you can decide whether that messed him up or not, but after that, Ricardo starts going downhill. He gets into drugs, especially the kind that mess with your head. He shoplifts constantly. He gets deeply obsessed with religion. Eventually, he drops out of high school. By 17, Ricardo gets a job at a Holiday Inn. While working there, he starts sneaking into guest rooms while people are asleep and stealing their valuables. But then he takes it further. Eventually, he gets caught and fired. But that's not the end. At 22, Ricardo moves from Texas to San Francisco, hoping for a fresh start. Instead, he completely gives up. He doesn't work. He spends all his time using drugs. He stops taking care of himself entirely. After about 2 years of living like this, Ricardo makes a decision. He decides he wants to start unaliving people. One day, he sees a woman who dropped a dollar bill and is looking for it. Ricardo walks up to her and says, "I know where it is. I can show you." She follows him into the basement of the hotel where he's staying. She never comes back out. A few months later, Ricardo moves to Los Angeles and rents a cheap room near Skid Row. The crimes escalate. He starts breaking into homes at night and targeting people while they're alone or asleep. He begins leaving behind symbols at the crime scenes. Police realize they're dealing with a serial killer, but they don't have much to go on. Just partial descriptions, fingerprints, and shoe prints. One detail stands out. The shoe prints come from a very specific sneaker. Only one pair in that size had been sold in Los Angeles. The media gives him a name: the Night Stalker. Eventually, Ricardo becomes arrogant. During one attack, a victim survives, and he tells her exactly who he is. That mistake costs him everything. Not long after, residents catch him during a break-in and hold him down until police arrive. Ricardo is arrested and charged with multiple murders, attempted murders, assaults, and burglaries. He's found guilty on all counts and sentenced to death. But here's the craziest part. While on death row, Ricardo starts receiving fan mail. People write him letters. Some even visit him. One of those fans falls in love with him. They get married. Ricardo later dies in prison from cancer. Not justice, just an ending.